Support for Radio Friends comes from ITCOMO, offering computer and IT services for small businesses and residential clients. ITCOMO can set up remote work-at-home solutions and data security and backup systems and upgrade your company email to more modern platforms. ITCOMO can also help you get the most from your technology at home. Learn more at itcomo.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, August the 5th. You got a computer at home, right? And from time to time, the computers are wonderful, but from time to time, there's a problem with it. Well, we've got an expert, Robert Ricketts from ITCOMO. Good to have you here.
Good. Thank you, Paul. It's good to be back.
Today, we wanted to talk a little bit about people working from home with the computer.
Yeah, that's right.
So how do we set up working at home?
Well, so just a tiny bit of backstory. Of course, we all went into the office to do our work. I mean, that were not so-called knowledge workers,
right?
That where your job involved being at a computer and maybe a phone all day. And then COVID happened. And so a lot of these people had to go home and set up some pretty quick ad hoc solutions for working at home. Laptops on kitchen tables, not a very comfy chair, that kind of thing. Well, so in the past 2.5 years or so, that field has really matured. And now employers and employees are really starting to expect to have work from home options. And so that's kind of generated a kind of a new zeitgeist, so to speak, on how to set up a good, comfortable work from home.
Now, if people go to your website, you have everything down to the T of what you need to do to work at home?
Well, it covers the broad strokes of what you need. There's a particular page on my site that discusses comfort and productivity, meaning having a decent place to work at home, a good desk, a telephone that can ring from your office, a decent computer. Some folks like a standing desk so they're not sitting all day, and a decent chair that's comfortable for sitting in all day.
These are things that I guess when you first start talking about working from home, you don't take that into consideration.
That's right.
But then once you start working from home, you say, oh, wait a minute, I need this, and I need this, and it makes it all the difference in the world then.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm looking as we're scrolling through on your webpage, it's got all of the information that you need. You're talking about a good telephone, a good desk that's needed for your comfort, the computer working. And some people like to sit, some people like to stand. That's your preference.
That's right.
These are all things that you need to think about as you're setting up working at home.
That's correct. And these are actually not a bad idea in the office as well.
Yeah.
But certainly at home, where it was probably suboptimal in the beginning, you really had no place at all to work.
What is the biggest obstacle that people face when they're working at home?
Well, so first of all, we've got to get the technology set up to do that. For instance, you have your home computer. How do you connect it to the office computer or to the office network? So there's things that I can do on the office side to make it available and to accept incoming connections, and then the home side, and then the two can communicate.
Is that difficult to do, hooking the computer up, tying it into the office?
Well, there are easier solutions, like we've all heard of Go to My PC maybe and Log Me In, but there's other higher end solutions, a little more technical to set up, but in the long term they're less expensive, and they really give you I'm really sitting in the office type of experience.
Can this be done wirelessly, or does it have to be done through the
cabling, the Ethernet?
Cabling.
No, wireless will work. And on the home end, it usually is wireless because your office might not be where your internet comes into the house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about the internet. When you're working from home, what is the minimum amount of speed that you need? So
you don't want DSL. You need to have at least cable-based internet.
And what if all you can get is DSL?
Well, if that's all you can get, and if it's fast enough, which it could be, then yes, that could work too.
Okay, but why do you say though you don't want DSL?
Well, because work from home involves traffic traveling between your computer and the office network in both directions. depending on the nature of your job, you may have more intensive needs to access office resources, the office server, for example. So you want a little more internet speed to make that happen.
Okay. What would be the minimum amount of speed that you would say?
I would say at least 25 megabits download, and upload can be a little bit slower than that.
If you don't have that, you've got a little bit of a problem.
It could be a problem. If you have satellite-based internet, it's really not going to work too well.
It's not?
No, I mean, this.
Why is that?
Well, too much latency in the satellite, meaning when you make a keystroke or you move the mouse, it takes too long for that to get communicated.
That's like a quarter of a second or so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And that is too long?
Even a full second when you consider 2 round trips up to the satellite and back down to Earth.
I hadn't thought about that.
That's right.
What about the now cell phones are coming out with that you can have the modem?
That can work. The cell phones are fast enough if you have a tower reasonably close, but most people have caps on their data plans, so you don't want to go over those data caps or you'll get charged extra on your wireless plan.
Well, you're throwing up a bunch of these roadblocks that people do need to think about.
That's right.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, that's one of the things that I do. For example, pre-COVID, I have a CPA client with 3 principals and about 35 employees. And when COVID hit, boom, they all had to go home immediately. And so that was quite an intense effort.
And you were able to set up the work at home.
That's right. And now, post-COVID, half of them are still working at home.
Because they like working at home.
That's right.
A lot of people prefer working at home.
Yes.
You don't have to get up in the morning. You don't have to go fight that traffic. You can sit there
in your pajamas.
In your pajamas and work. That's right. And many times they can seem more productive, too.
That's right. And more employers are getting on board, forward-thinking employers especially, realizing that the wider pool of employees, because we're in a labor shortage right now, so employers need to kind of come to where the employees are, and offering work from home is one of the ways to do that.
Okay. If people want more information about this or they want you to help them, what can they do?
So my website is ITCOMO.com, so pretty easy to remember. Yeah. And from there, I have all of my contact information and a number of articles that just discuss different aspects of computing, including work from home.
Is there anything now, if you got the DSL, is there any way that you can speed up your DSL, or are you locked into only what they're sending in?
If you're lucky enough to be close to the DSL head end, so to speak, then your speeds would be sufficient. But the worst of the DSL is less than a megabit, and that's going to make for a pretty bad experience.
Okay.
So
all right.
Might be out of luck if you don't have other options.
Yeah, if you want more information, give him a call or check it out on his website. It's ITCOMO. Robert Ricketts, a nice guy, and he's very knowledgeable. Okay? And maybe you can bump that speed up just a little bit for people. All right. Thank you, Robert. What's your phone number?
So area code 573-999-9849.
Got it. All right. Something you'd like to hear or see, drop me an email. pepperpmissouri.edu. I'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.